Hey, what's up, guys? So, in this speech today, I'm going to be talking about social media addiction. I got some problems, causes, and solutions I'll go in further detail about. And I got a couple of sources I can talk about, some articles I pulled off from social media and the web. To start it off, we're going to go with problems. It develops risky decision making capabilities. To go further more detail. Um, we make decisions off of what we feel and what we think. And if what we think and what we feel is mainly based on social media, we don't think as of ourselves. We think as someone else's mindset. Um, it results in a lot of problematic decision making on social media as well, not just in real life. You're going to the wrong websites, wrong apps, places where you shouldn't be. And I'll go into further detail as I go on. Main thing is it results in addiction. One of the problems is addiction. It starts to become your whole life. It becomes your main priority, which is obviously not good. You're always constantly checking your phone. You see a tweet, you feel the vibration of your phone. You check on it. You're always checking on it constantly. And this is not just affecting older kids. People who've been on social media a long time. This is affecting now younger kids. Younger kids are getting more introduced to social media, which is very sad. Because they introduced with this whole type of harassment that I'll talk about later on. But yeah, it's not just older kids; it's young little kids who maybe just get their first phone, have an iPad, stuff like that. It's really sad. They became a lot of them become lazy. They develop a lot of laziness, low time span, because they're always constantly checking on their phone on their bed. They forget about their hobbies, their priorities, and I'm guilty of this sometimes, but um yeah, so they start prioritizing social media, the entertainment, the satisfaction that they get from it, um, and also they become insecure. And I say insecure because they see maybe some role models or some people they look up to on social media, and they have certain things or they look like a certain way, and young adults, young teens, they want to mimic what other people have online, and they start feeling insecure about themselves and thinking, why don't I have that? It becomes very toxic. It's very sad for especially young kids and for everyone around the whole world. So now we're gonna go into causes. Main causes social media. Social media can become very toxic if you use it the wrong way. Some people use social media to advantage to learn about how to invest, in the right way, to become smarter, educate themselves. But there's a very dark side to social media, and it all starts off with influencers on social media. If you get stuck with the wrong type of influencers, maybe on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, you start to see what they do, good or bad, and this could affect mainly young kids. Young kids, they don't know how to think for themselves, so they're seeing someone that they see as like a star or their hero on social media, and they do something that maybe mature for their age but not for the young kids age. They will mimic that, and obviously it's not a good look on the little kids. um Also, one of the main causes is the entertainment social media gives. It's always constantly videos, posts, and a lot of these viewers, the audience, the people who get addicted, they love constantly seeing new things. They got the low time span, so if they're on TikTok, they see a video for like 10 seconds, they're gonna keep going. They're gonna start getting time usage on 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. They're gonna keep scrolling until they fall asleep on their bed with their phone. Um, but yeah, and now to go into some solutions. Solutions like these type of things with an addiction, it has to be a slow process. Obviously, you can't stop an addiction right away. So one of the main things is trying to limit your screen time. I know this is hard for a lot of people. It'd be hard for myself too, if I'm honest. But limiting your screen time. Let's say your screen time a day is like 7 hours, which is very high. You could try to say, okay, for the first week, I'm gonna try to limit it to 6 hours and a half, and then you keep going 30 minutes below and below until you try to find a good point of balance. And something about balance is I'm gonna talk about at the end of my speech. But yeah, trying to limit your screen time, trying to find the little balance between, okay, I have this amount of time to do my work and this amount of time to do, have my entertainment, have my fun on social media. But next thing is deleting certain apps that are very toxic. I know a lot of people have a hard time doing that. And some people I've seen, if they go through a lot of those elite apps that they feel like have no advantage to them. But yeah, deleting apps, let's say you're on YouTube a lot and you're watching the wrong things. Obviously, first step to eliminating the social media addiction is deleting YouTube. And lastly, It's more for the younger kids. Is the parents can do more and restricting the kids of what they watch and what they do on social media. A lot of these kids are getting introduced to social media and all of this at a young age. I think parents could be at fault of this sometimes. These parents need to understand, what their kids are getting into, and I think they obviously have the power to, limit what these kids can do. So I think these parents need to start to limit and restrict the usage or the certain apps like certain kids can use or their kids can use. But yeah, with probably I just discussed some problems, causes, solutions. Now we're gonna go into some articles I found out. So my first article from Chris Fernandez from the University of Arkansas, he said that it's not. He said something along the lines of social media is not just an addiction on a certain type of age limit. It goes to a point as young adults, and is showing that addiction can only grow. Younger kids are gonna slowly start getting into, obviously the little kids have like the little iPads and stuff, and you don't know what they could be doing on that, especially when the parents don't restrict what they can watch and do on that. So that's something. And then Article 2, by Grant Coach in the same University of Arkansas says, the effects in social media affects their performance, social life, family relations, and to go into one of the same words, family relations, I want to gain some more um, some more topics, some more time about that. I want to talk about that a bit more. Family relations, these kids, if they're eating at dinner, they're on their phone, which is very disrespectful to the parents. I feel bad for the parents, but um, they started to prioritize what they want and what they should be doing over what they should be doing. These kids are, starting to gain bad habits. They're like, oh, I'd rather be on my phone at dinner than talk to my parents, which is honestly pretty sad. And then another one from named Jacob Miller in the University of Iowa says along the lines that kids are never satisfied, and this is why they get addicted to social media. They're always constantly scrolling. They're never satisfied with what they can see. They always have the mind of, okay, what can I see more? It's just constantly very toxic. And then to go into Article 4 from the Daily Telegraph, they say how they should urge parents to ban smartphones from meal times and their children's bedrooms at night. So honestly, that's like what I was talking about before, limiting and restricting, and that's what parents can only do, restricting them from using it at night, from using it at the table when they're eating. That's some good habits that will teach the kids how to respect, their time and have a balance between both lives. And then to go into article, so my fifth article from the PR Newswire, they start talking about how it starts causing emotional maturity. It kind of it kind of affects how mature a kid can be when they grow up, and these kids are starting to understand what they can and can't do, and some of these kids start to lose maturity on the social media thing. And another article from the Economist saying, limiting just usage from 10 minutes down can reduce a lot of stuff like loneliness, depression, and that just shows, scientists shows, research shows that it can become very toxic if you use it the wrong way. But to go into my last article from the Daily News Journal, it talks about having balance, and I said I was going to talk about this lastly, but having balance, having to respect both lives. Balance is not just about eliminating social media. It's not about that, because social media, you gotta have your fun, your entertainment. It's about finding a balance in your life, and that's basically what I want to conclude my whole speech with. Is for social media, we have to find the balance of what we can and can't do, what we should and shouldn't do. And I think that's all we need to learn. Thank you.